here we are out at the Legends. It's an outdoor little shopping center in Kansas City. About to find me some board shorts for this show.
Can you not do that while you're crossing the road? It's not very safe.
Babe, I looked both ways before.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, about to go find some board shorts for the show. It's less than 2 weeks away. I wanted to wait till closer till the show because I didn't want to have to buy some. Then my waist gets smaller. I have to buy some more. So figure 2 weeks out straight. So before the show, just my normal weight, I'm usually at 34 waist. So we'll see what fits me today. Oh, I want that so bad. So it's a nice trip, unsuccessful. So Sony released a new lens a few months ago. It's a 50mm 1.8 and super sharp, super good in low light. The focusing seems to be kind of slow on it, at least from what people say. And the autofocus is kind of noisy, but I want to test it out. And I've got some shoots coming up that I want a better prime lens. So I'm gonna go test it out and see what I think. Well, they didn't have it. Cleaned the face up a little bit today. Feeling like a little kid. Actually, I think I look more like my dad without facial hair. But yeah, cleaned it up just to get ready for this show next week. Have to go clean shave probably. So yeah, I gotta get used to this. For this life, I'm just searching.
Watching, hoping that this will all make sense when I'm done.
It'll all make sense. So I'm singing red flag, red flag. Sending contemplating. I'm really tripping. Wait, what is this feeling? Wait, what is this? And it would be an understatement just to say I love you.
I think I should do ad-libs in this.
It's looking.
I'm trying to see. Like,
I feel like it shouldn't, but it's funny to do it.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Why what is this feeling? Why what is this? And I think we fell in love at the wrong time. Trying to keep it together, but couldn't live with this pressure.
Real thinking. What's about to happen? I don't know what he taking out.
Let's see.
Here you go.
I hope I don't lose you. Damn, I think I lost you. Feel like I need to call you and tell you that I think I fell in love.
All right, it's Friday, September 9th, and I just finished up my workout, training a client, and then my cardio. So yeah, feeling pretty good right now. So I announced this morning on Instagram and Snapchat that I'm going to be doing a Q&A today. So I've got a few questions already. I announced it like super early at like 4 something in the morning. So it's still only 7 something or 7:27 right now. So I haven't got a whole bunch of questions yet, but some are starting to pile in. So I'm going to go ahead and read the first one and answer it on my way back to the house. All right, so it says, how do you go about mastering a mixtape, album, big projects in general? From Heavenly_veteran. So as far as mastering goes, if I mixed the entire project, or if an artist sends me an entire project to mix, what I do is I put all of the mixes inside of the same Pro Tools session, so they're all on their own track. I send them all to the same aux bus. You could look at it like a submix, I guess. And what I do on that aux track is I put whatever my mastering chain is going to be. Typically that's going to be some sort of tape emulation plugin to start it off. Usually I use the Slate tape emulation plugin. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. So I usually start with that. Then I typically go for some sort of EQ. So the reason why I do this is because with the whole project, let's say, you know, a mixtape or album, I want all of the songs to have like a similar feel. Like if the project, you know, are we gonna make the whole project dark? Or are we gonna make the whole project bright? You know, whatever. I want them all to have the same feel as you go from song to song. So I'll go with the EQ. Then I will put a little bit of compression, either with like the SSL bus compressor, barely tapping them, or sometimes I'll skip that in general and I'll just go with the Slate FGX, the mastering plugin, and I'll do some compression in that with the final limiter as well. So I'll have all of the songs routed to this same aux bus, and I will have them all muted, and I'll just solo one at a time, and you know, mess with the levels on that particular song to the point where I've got the RMS, you know, the loudness where I want it to be, and then I'll mute that track, go to the next one. So I just keep going track by track until they're all getting similar RMS levels, and you know, they're all getting the same similar feel EQ wise, and yeah, so that's what allows for that consistency from track to track whenever you're listening to a mixtape or a project. So that's how I do it. All right, so the question pretty much is, how long did it take for me to go from skinny to how I look now? And it's been a process of probably, at least 3 years consistently. Let's see. Yeah, probably 2013 is when I consistently started lifting, and I was probably 170s, 180s as far as my weight, but I was pretty skinny fat. Like, I posted a picture earlier today of like a flashback Friday, and that was back whenever I was at Pittsburgh State, so that's like right after college basketball. That's how I looked. And so that was probably 6-7 years ago. That picture on my Instagram, I'll actually post it right here. But yeah, I started lifting consistently probably 3 years ago, and got up to like 208. I was just eating like crazy and lifting almost every day, and 208, but I was kind of getting chunky, it felt like. Couldn't hoop, like I couldn't move like I usually could whenever I'm playing basketball and stuff. So kind of have went through a few processes of bulking, cutting until I've learned my body, learned what's good for me as far as how many calories I should be eating every day to be able to lean bulk and not get fat. But yeah, long story short, I'd say at least 3 years. And it was hard for me to start working out in the morning because I was not a morning person at all, but I've gotten used to it. That's, to me, the easiest time to stay consistent. And yeah, ever since I got consistent, that's when I started making them gains. All right, so next question is, how do you deal with overcompressed 2 tracks? All right, so overcompressed 2 tracks are like hell. What I do, the best way to deal with the overcompressed 2 track is to use mid-side EQ along with a transient designer plugin. I personally don't have a transient designer plugin, so typically what I do is I try to carve out space for the vocal using the Fab Filter. You guys have probably seen me do this, but using the Fab Filter Pro Q2 with the mid-side functionality, and usually dipping, 3-4 dB somewhere between 2 and 4K, and with a pretty wide cue. You got to be careful because that's a lot of times going to affect the snare. But I mean, when you're dealing with an overcompressed 2-track, it's tough to really open up that beat and get the vocal to sit well with it. I mean, obviously it's not ideal to be mixing to a 2-track in the first place, but yeah, overcompressed 2-tracks are tough. Another thing I find when a 2-track is overcompressed, it's really boomy. The low end is just way too much. So something I'll do is use the Waves center plugin, turn the knob that's affecting the low frequencies to the center, and then the knob that's affecting the higher frequencies to the sides. So it's kind of spreading things out a little bit. I will take the fader that's affecting the middle of the spectrum and bring that down maybe a dB or two depending on how boomy it is, and then I'll raise the side. So it kind of opens the track up a little bit, so that helps. But again, if you can get track outs, get track outs. Alright, so Devin D. King asked, how long have you been engineering and are you good at producing beats? So I've been doing this right at 3 years, so still just trying to get my feet wet, I feel like. Yeah, still working on putting in those 10,000 hours. I may be there, I don't know, as hard as I work. But yeah, still just getting my feet wet, still feel like a noob to all this. But yeah, 3 years. And am I good at producing beats? I am just going to say no. It's something that I practice from time to time, and I'm getting better at. I haven't, spent a lot of time working on that, which I want to spend more time. I just haven't done it yet. But no, as of right now, I wouldn't call myself good at producing beats. But in the future. All right, so Top Notch Prees asked, what do you do on a particular slow day for you, like if you don't have any sessions? It's a really good question. So what I typically do on a day if I don't have sessions, or for example, this past Wednesday, I trained a few people in the morning, and then I didn't have a session or any mixing to do until 7 p.m. that night. So what I did all day was, 1, worked on editing my vlog, 2, continued to edit and work on my site. There's some things going on in the back end on my site that I'm trying to get up and rolling, as far as creating more training material for you guys, and some other things in the works. So yeah, during my downtime, if you want to call it downtime, I just really focus on my brand and how, what's going to happen a month from now, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, constantly planning and trying to be ready for the future. Always trying to stay 2 steps ahead instead of being on the defense. I like to be on the offense. So yeah, if I don't have any sessions, I'm still working, I'm still grinding, just working on furthering my brand and reaching more people, so I can have so I can do more things like this and connect with you guys on a larger scale. All right, so Tyree Tala, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, asked, what are some good monitors for mixing vocals? So I don't know if there's any good monitors for, particularly mixing vocals, but as far as just good monitors go, especially if you're on a budget, boom. I love the HS7s, any of the HSs, the Yamaha HS5, I don't know if there's 6s, but 7s and 8s. They're all dope. I used to have the KRK Rockets. I didn't feel like they translated as well as these do. These are kind of they're just flat and boring sounding monitors. So that's really what you're looking for, is just a monitor that's not going to hype the sound, because again, your job is to mix it so that way it translates and sounds, good on multiple systems. So I love the Yamahas. They're really inexpensive. Let's see, I've used Eve Audio before. Those were really dope monitors. We have JBL out at the studio. We have JBL at JTL. So JBLs are dope. But yeah, these Yamahas, you can get them real cheap. Check those out. So my guy, Joseph Tallarico, from where do you derive your urge to hustle from? Before I answer that question, I just want to say big ups to Joseph Tallarico. I appreciate you asking the question and following along with my channel. And you guys definitely check him out. I used to watch his vlogs way before I started my channel. And yeah, he was a huge inspiration, just seeing him getting used to the camera and, starting his own ventures. Definitely a huge inspiration for me to do what I'm doing now. So big ups to Joseph Tallarico. And so where do I derive my urge to hustle from? So with me, it I guess goes back to when I was a kid. My parents, not to say we grew up super poor, there were times where we struggled, but I wouldn't say we grew up super poor. But my mom and dad were not the type to just buy me and my brothers things. We got a little bit of money for going back to school shopping and a little bit of money during Christmas. Other than that, we weren't getting any money and they weren't buying us stuff. So anything that I wanted, I had to find a way to get it on my own. So at a young age, I started finding ways to sell things that I had. In middle school, I used to go to Sam's Club, buy huge boxes of Laffy Taffies for, I can't remember how much, super cheap. And then I would go to school and then sell them individually and make a bunch of money doing that. I used to go door to door in our neighborhood, knocking and asking if I can cut people's grass. Just things like that. I've always been like that ever since I was young, because I always, saw things that I wanted and knew that it was going to be up to me if I was going to get it. So, that characteristic has just stayed with me as I've gotten older. And once you get out of the college and you get into a 9-to-5 setting, it kind of like, I just felt like that side of me wasn't being used anymore. And I was just turning into like this robot. And one day I just woke up and I just felt like, what the hell am I doing with my life? Like, I hate every single day, Monday through Friday. Every single Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, I absolutely hate it. And I don't know how anyone can do this for the rest of their life. That's how I woke up feeling. And so I never ever want to go back to that. I never want to have to, go sit in a cubicle for somewhere and try to sell something that I don't care about, or, work hard for something that doesn't even have my name on it, work hard for a company that doesn't truly care about me. So, that drives me every single day, because I see so many people, hate life from Sunday night actually, till Friday at about 4 or 5 o'clock. And so, yeah, that's what drives me. Plus, once I quit my job, it's just the pressure of like, okay, this income, you have to find a way to keep the lights on. You got to find a way to make sure your car doesn't get repossessed. You got to find a way to make sure you are able to keep your house. Like, it's pressure, but it's a good pressure. It's stress, but it's a good stress. So, with those things, with, whatever was already in me as a kid, plus the pressures that I have now, it's like, I don't even think twice about it. I never wake up contemplating, okay, am I going to go hard today or am I going to chill? Like, I almost get offended when someone asks me, you know, yo, you want to go do this? Oh, you are always working. You want to go do that? Because right now it's just like grind time, and people look at me crazy when I say that, but that's just what it is. Especially for the first couple years that you're in business for yourself, you know, your first few years are going to be rough, and you just have to go hard, keep your blinders on the positive, and forget all the rest, you know, forget all the BS and just keep grinding. So plus another reason why hustling is just so easy is because once you see your work paying off, you realize that it's going to work. Like, as long as you keep your work ethic and your hustle, it, the only thing that can happen is your dreams are going to come true. That's, you may not believe that statement, but that's literally and truly what I believe. Like, especially now that I've been able to you know, see a little bit of growth here and there, now I'm just addicted. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that my dreams aren't going to come true. I truly believe that they will. So it's like, at this point, I would have to be just absolutely crazy not to hustle. Because if I know without a doubt that what I want is going to happen, and the only way it won't happen is by me not working hard, I mean, yeah, I would have to be the craziest dude alive to not put in that work. Like, I do not want to be 50 years old and be thinking back like, oh man, if I just would have worked hard, but I felt like playing PS4 that day. Like, no, I never even, that never even crosses my mind. I never even think about that, contemplate that. Every single day I just go. And that's why I like having this camera with me, having you guys with me, because it holds me accountable. You know, I know that I inspire a lot of you, just like a lot of you inspire me, and I want to keep this going. And yeah, that's why I take you guys with me everywhere that I go, to hold me accountable, so that way I can continue to inspire you guys to live the life of your dreams, and we can all get there together. So yeah, it's not an option to just chill, like hustle. That's just life at this point. Great question, bro. But all right, yeah, so I am excited about this. I've always wanted to do a Q&A, and it's cool to be able to send out a snap and, you know, get some responses. So I appreciate everyone who sent in questions. Sorry for those that I didn't get to, but I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. Keep supporting me. I appreciate it so much. If you dig this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Feel free to tell a friend about me. You know, if you haven't already, join our community, hit that subscribe button. If you guys have any questions, my email is always below. The link to the website is always below. If you need some work, I'm your guy. And yeah, let's just keep rocking. Let's keep building this. And I'm going to see you guys at the top. Peace.